story. And let's talk about Miss Willam, who opened up on her Race Chasers podcast about being kicked off of DragCon. So, we already talked about it. We played the clip on the show. One of the things I was mad about was that when I played the clip of stuff off of YouTube, y'all heard the audio, right? Because I remember when I watched it back after I recorded it, there was no sound, but I could hear it in my headphones, and the audio was actually playing and stuff. So I don't understand why there was no audio in the playback. But nevertheless, y'all saw the video. She was showing footage of her at DragCon, and she revealed that she was kicked out. So then we knew it was only a matter of time before she was going to go to the Mom Network, which she co-owns with Alaska, and they were going to spill tea in regards of, she was going to spill tea in regards of what happened over at Moguls Media, well, at DragCon and the whole drama. It is a long clip. So we're going to play that. And then we'll come back and we'll give our opinion on what happened. So please hold as we get to that clip.
DragCon happened last weekend.
Oh, that was last weekend?
Uh-huh.
How was it? Was it fun?
It was so much fun. It was actually my favorite DragCon that I've done.
I tried to get to your booth, but they almost arrested me. But you were on the opposite side of where Adore was, which is where I was hanging out. And
yeah, I was over on the other
your
side.
merch was so cute. Those blue hats. I saw everybody in them.
Yeah.
For hats for summer.
Well, of course, in July. For July. It's drag.
Were you there for setup day too?
No.
Oh, well, that's good, because you know why? On setup day, they chose to not turn on the air conditioning because it would have cost the person putting on the convention some money. So it was over 80 degrees. Someone clocked it at 84 degrees inside the convention center on the one setup day that they allowed. It used to be 2 setup days. Now it's only 1, no more Sundays. And they didn't see it fit to give people air after they moved DragCon from May to the hottest month in LA in the summer, July. So I was glad I didn't have a booth, because I would have been perturbed. And you know me, I don't handle perturbedness well.
Well, it seems like you were perturbed anyway.
There were
booth or no booth.
Yeah, I had some definite issues, but I want to talk about the good things of DragCon first.
So what were the good things of DragCon?
The good things at DragCon that I saw were, Shay's red look. Well, maybe I can just go through my whole DragCon experience, because there were good things in there.
Yeah.
It'll also detail some of the things that went awry.
Yeah.
So I got to DragCon right around like 9 a.m. I got a pass from Adore to go in, because those passes are, for whoever they want to give them to in their booth and on their staff. So got in that way, right through the front door. Everybody saw me. And then I hung out at Adore's booth, finished my nails, went to Jimbo's booth, said hi, walked around a little, walked by RuPaul's meet and greet area. There was one person sitting on the ground. I made a little video where I walked up, like joking with her book. She wasn't there. But this is the first year she did meet and greets, huh? For like, and signings like that?
I feel like she's done it before.
She has? Okay.
She doesn't do it every time, but
Okay.
yeah, that was special this year.
Because there was a girl on roller skates who that I was talking to, and she was roller skating all day on Saturday, and then on Sunday she
Rolanda Cox?
Yeah, Rolanda.
Yeah.
And then Sunday
she came by and said hi.
They didn't let her roller skate, and she didn't have shoes because they let her roller skate all day on Saturday she didn't have shoes. And Rue was like, no shoes. And she's like, oh yeah, I usually roller skate. And Rue's like, I roller skate at work all the time. And she was like, well, they wouldn't let me this year. And then Rue got the nod to the security, and they got rid of her after meet and greet, she said. So no roller skates, no wheels, unless you're RuPaul, apparently.
Okay.
Wandering around, go to Jimbo's booth, say hi, see a couple other people. Then I'm like, okay, it's the Queen's Walk. Let me go backstage for the Queen's Walk. There's something, I have this innate ability to know when there is a camera or an eye on me. I feel it. I was at Cats last month, and from like 20 feet away, I could feel, I just turned, and my friend Ty, the director of Titanic, was filming me. And like, he's like, baby, you feel it. You know when there's a camera. And I'm like, I do know. I can tell when someone's watching. As I was walking around the convention center, I was being tailed. I felt it. And I was like, that's fine. You know, they're watching me. I get it. I'd watch me too. I would have kicked me out years ago for all the I said. That's true, but antagonistic. But every year I've bought a booth and paid for it full rate. In fact, last year I paid full rate for electric, booth, internet, and they didn't turn on my internet or electric until 10:34 in the morning, which means I missed out on 94 minutes of sales for VIPs, which is a lot. And it was strange because every booth around me had electric and internet, yet I didn't. It's like they were trying to thwart me or do something to make it so I would, I don't know what, but they got me the electric and the internet, and eventually they offered me a refund. The person in charge of DragCon, Marin, offered me a refund. And I took it, and they thought they were done with me after that. They didn't think I'd be back, but I was back, and I wanted to do the Queen's Walk. They wrote my name down on a little piece of paper once I went backstage. But as soon as that happened, JC checked me in, JC O'Day and JoJo, because I went with them. As soon as I got backstage behind the curtain for the Queen's Walk, Marin comes up to me and they say, we need to talk to you. I was like, we did this last year. What are we going to talk about now? Go get Gina. They're like, no, we need to talk to you. And I noticed there were policemen over her shoulder. I was like, oh, I'm being bounced. I can feel this, because security guards can't get you out of a venue, or security guards can't trespass you. A police officer needs to trespass you. So I knew what was happening. So I was like, well, I'm not leaving unless I have my phone and my keys. And JoJo has them. They're out by the carpet on the Queen's Walk. So they're like, okay, we'll get Gina to get your friends. I was like, it's not my manager's job to know what my friends look like and to grab my keys for me. I'm not moving. And there were all these people around me. Nicole Page Brooks was one, and they weren't letting me in before that. And then it was because, you know, they knew not to let me in. And I was a little shocked at that, because Marin then said, well, this is a sold out event and you didn't RSVP, so we can't accommodate you. I was like, they're selling tickets at the door. It's not sold out. You're a liar. And they just wrote down Candace Cain's name on an index card for her to do the Queen's Walk, just like they did me 10 minutes ago when JC signed me up. So what's the problem here, really? And she's like, well, last year you had so much problems and demanded a refund. I said, I didn't demand a refund. You offered me one because as a vendor, you guys failed. You didn't get me my that I paid for every year. They're like, well, we didn't think you'd be back and we didn't know, and you have to tell us. I was like, you don't have to tell people. This is open to the general public, and I'm a drag queen. Like, why wouldn't I be here? I belong here. They're like, you need to leave. You're a risk for the venue and the event. I said, okay, sure. So at that point, it goes from 4 cops to 6 to 9 to 11, and security guards. They're like encircling me, one more, like pinpointing. And it's like tactical. They circle you and then they close in and then they move. They make you move because they're not going to touch you. It sounds stupid that like I'm getting like caught up about it, but like it was really like not harrowing, but like all these drag queens around. Everybody's scared of them. I'm like, nobody wants to take a picture? Come on, Taste. Come on, Caramel. Take a picture. It's like, Adore, take a picture. Adore's like, I don't have my phone. Like, some of the girls wanted to help me, but nobody has their phone before the Queen's Walk. Everybody gives their phone to their friends so they could film it. So they were smart to get me when I went backstage away from the fans and the cameras. It was very much a con, and they did that. And I get it. I get why they don't want me there. But like, I was there illegally. I was just trying to do the Queen's Walk, and then I was going to leave. Like, I wasn't going to put myself in a place where I knew I would be unhappy with buying a booth and everything, but I want to participate. It's a drag event, and I'm not there for RuPaul. I'm there for all the fans that want to see me and love me. Just for that moment, even if it's a surprise, because I didn't have a booth. But I've made their event look really good in YouTube videos for the past like decade. People are like, DragCon looks fun. I want to go to it. I've seen your videos. I want to go to your booth. I want to play video games with you. I want to have fun. That did not happen on this day, because once I got outside with the cops, I was like, all right, let me catch y'all up. This person doesn't like me because last year they had to refund me because they were inept and they did not supply me with the things I paid for. And so they don't want me here, which is crazy. I'm obviously a drag queen. They can't handle all this fabulosity. I get it. So then they want to walk me to my car. They walk me to the wrong parking garage in 8-inch heels. And I'm like, you guys, all these cops because by then when we got outside, it was like 6 cops. I was like, this is stupid. Like, I haven't been arrested for battery since like 2008. Why are you all here? And I knew I had no recourse and I couldn't do anything in that moment because what am I going to do? Get taken down to the ground? Like, because I try to like run away or walk away? I didn't want that to be like the legacy. So my friends started filming and we got like the 6 cops around me while I was walking to the car and like a moment there. So I do have a DragCon video. So people can see that if they'd like on my YouTube. It was weird to see RuPaul up in the sky while it was all happening in her booth in her cowboy hat. Like she knew. And I hadn't posted the video of me walking up to her booth with her book while she wasn't there. So I was like, how did they know I was even here? I didn't even look like myself, really. I looked kind of like crazy. I had a weird headpiece by Casey Caldwell. Thank you, Casey. But they figured it out that I was there and they did something about it, which I get. I wouldn't want me at that event either if I was RuPaul. But I had a right to be there, I thought. I was wrong. It was their event. They can kick me out whenever they want. What else? Oh, I found out why they kicked me out. It wasn't because of just my normal stuff. It was because I talked about the litigation that they're possibly facing with the crew. And I found that out because a lot of people at World of Wonder still like me. Hi, guys who like me and listen. Thank you. We appreciate your ears. They told someone I'm very close with that I met working on Drag Race, them, and then they told me that it was because of that. Because their very real legal problems were being discussed by someone who they've had very real legal problems with. I guess that was too much for them and they just couldn't take, which is fine because look at like Art Basel and Coachella. Those were fun for moments. And now it's all about like a little satellite like party or what's the cool thing that's like near it. Like nobody actually goes to like gay pride and really like goes to the parade. They're going to like a warehouse in Brooklyn to get or like, you know, a pool party or something. So like DragCon has kind of lost its newness and appeal for a lot of people in the way that this weekend it really showed. Everybody was like, no, I'm going to San Diego for Pride. Like there were a lot of girls that like no Detox, no Latrice, no Sasha Velour, no Priyanka, no no Shangela, no. There were a lot of girls that weren't there that I expected. Was Sasha Colby there? No. Where were all the girls? They didn't want to come because it's not worth it to come anymore because it takes a lot. It's in July now, in the hottest day when we're all working and touring for the summer. And if there's no incentive to come, like some girls get booth discounts, they get their booths for free, they get their travel paid for, they get their hotel paid for, and a lot of girls don't. And life doesn't have to be fair. And I get that. But if it can be fair and they choose to not make it fair, why? I don't get it. We're family, I thought, you know?
Well,
Okay. So we're gonna pause it there. I just had to find a good shot because it was about to dissolve. But yeah, so Willam said what she said and gave the full tea. I could have been like, oh, well, yeah, I could have gave y'all a whole breakdown of everything, but I just thought it'd be interesting to hear it come out of Willam's mouth. If y'all want to see the full episode, you gotta head over to YouTube to what is it? Moguls of Media, MOM. And you can watch the full episode because I know they get into Jade from Little Mix and they talk about her new single and all the other stuff over there as well. So yeah, Willam said what she said. And you know what? She admits that, you know, I antagonize a lot of times and I ruffle a lot of feathers and the people over there. So I'm glad she's self-aware. You know, even though I did have people that have been weighing in on this and they've been saying like, oh, well, what did she expect? Because when you've been over there poking the bear for so long that this is what's going to happen. But I'm like, well, wait a minute. When I went to DragCon in New York, the last one that they had before they stopped doing the East Coast, because I do agree with Willam, it's lost its essence, it's lost its a sense of self. People really aren't going to DragCon like that anymore. I was surprised to see Bianca Del Rio was there, especially when she's always touring. And I do agree. Why did they move this drag? Because I remember when I spoke to a friend of mine, they was like, guess when they moving DragCon, they moving into I'm like, why? For why? Like y'all used to have believe having it in what, May? So why the hell would you move it? It's the same thing where I don't get like y'all move Drag Race to the premiere to like January, the coldest damn time in New York, where you got these queens out and about, and then the first straw was when y'all moved it from Monday to Friday. When Monday, everybody knows is like a blackout day in regards to Broadway, and that whole thing, and it's the slowest day of the week in regards to the clubs. So people actually loved showing Drag Race in the beginning on Mondays because people on Broadway had the day off. That's the one day that they got off. It's Sunday, which is why they do 3 shows, I believe, on Sunday. They do 8 shows a week, which I believe is like what? Yeah, 8 shows a week. So I think it's like 2 on Sunday or something. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they do 8 shows a week. They get Monday off, and that was a lot of times, especially when I used to go to a lot of my friends when I used to go to Miss Cracker's show, where she would do her viewing parties and all that stuff before she got on Drag Race. We used to see all of that and stuff there. So people liked when it was on Monday because that was the slowest time of the week. The people would come to the bar because they could watch it. Now, a lot of people had logo, and it was a good night for the bars to make a lot of money. So when when we had that at one point, then they're going to move it to Friday. I'm like, what's coming up with these decisions? So that's when we started to notice the corporate aspect of what Drag Race is coming. And I do feel like y'all have taken so much of the fun and the pizzazz. Now it's like this thing geared toward little kids. And I'm not saying drag ain't for kids or whatever the case is, but it just become like this Disney-fied ride, and y'all taking so much of the energy and the fun out of the show. And the fact of the matter is, they despise the fact that Willam has been out here spilling so much tea about Drag Race, and they hate it, and they even kind of like throwing shade in so many ways to Alaska for her association. But look, she was at DragCon. Alaska did her thing, and she performed a song that she did. I saw the video on YouTube, and I was cackling at her form. She did a song on pants or sweatpants. I did see that video. So Willam has always been a thorn in the ass of World of Wonder. But like I was saying before, when I was in New York, when they had it here in New York, Carmen Carrera was there. She's been deemed problematic. Gia Gunn was there, was deemed problematic. So there's been a lot of things. There have been a lot of queens who have shown up at Drag Race that have been problematic in the eyes of production that y'all had up in there, no problem. All of a sudden this year, Willam's a nuisance. But look, I feel like this is going to be at the point that, yeah, people behind the scenes are tired of the bullshit and the shenanigans in regards of, World of Wonder and all the other stuff that people that work there, they be spilling tea to Willam, and she used her platform to spill a lot of behind the scenes tea, and it is what it is. So, yeah. So, I'm not, it's sad that this is where it's come to this point, and RuPaul clearly can be very vindictive when need be, and Willam told her side of the story. So, I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story and everything surrounding it? Willam finally said what she said. I don't think World of Wonder and the people behind the scenes is going to respond to what happened or whatever. Maybe there was some people there that'll probably weigh in and say whatever needs to be said. I doubt it, but I feel like this is not going to be a back and forth usual Drag Race beef type situation. So I feel like Willam going to say what she going to say on her website, which the good thing about being a pundit is that you can tell your shit and can't nobody tell you nothing, especially when it's your own business. But when you infiltrate those people's situation, this is unfortunately the card that you're going to be dealt. So anyway, let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.